Alright everyone, back again with another Derek's Discs album review. And today we have one of my personal favorite hip-hop artists, Nas, and his album Stillmatic. Now, if you guys know Nas, he came out in 94 with Illmatic, which was, highly praised and one of the best hip-hop albums of all time. One of my favorite records from him, but actually, out of his whole collection, I have to say Stillmatic was my favorite. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a recap in his career. After Illmatic, he came out with It Was Written back in 96, which is kind of an Italioso type of Italian rap record. Didn't do as good as Illmatic, but was still highly praised. And then we had I Am, which was people thought he really fell off on because he did a song with Puff Daddy called Hate Me Now, and he was all like, he kind of sold out and stuff during that time. And then he came out with Nostradamus, which was supposed to be with I Am, like a double album, but some of the songs got leaked during 99 when, MP3 started to become a bigger thing and people were just starting to steal music, like with Metallica back in the 90s too. But then we come out with Stillmatic, which is his comeback record. Now, during the time, he had a beef with Jay-Z. Jay-Z had, called him out on some things on the song Takeover. And if you look here, there's a track here called Ether. I gotta look on the side here. Yep, Ether, track number 2, like the diss back on Jay-Z. Now, in my opinion, Nas won that beef hands down. Hands down. After that, he put I know Jay did put out a track after that called Super Ugly, but I didn't really make any hit or anything. He didn't really even give a shit about it and respond to it. So I think Nas won that beef overall. And now we get to the actual album. I love this cover to this album, by the way, too, guys. Like, this cover is great. You have, like, the New York sky. You got a bird. You got Nas in a cool get-up with, like, orange pants and shit. Kind of like Biggie and Puff Daddy in the More Money, More Problems video. Now, look at the back here. We have a crack, which I'm pissed off about because that actually happened in shipping. Because I looked at the pictures when I got this from eBay, and it was not there. So I'm going to give the guy credit. It wasn't his fault. It was eBay or whoever shipped it fucking were stupid and they just like cracked it. They didn't care. But as you can see, we have a Prelude to the Lost Tapes, which is a collection of stuff that he didn't put on Nostradamus and I Am and stuff throughout the years, and he put on that. That actually came out a year, I think, after this, or like a few months after this. And I actually did own this at one point. And you got the tracks on the side here. We got Stillmatic, the intro, Ether, Got Yourself a Smokin', You're the Man, Rewind, One Mic, Second Childhood, Destroy Rebuild, The Flash featuring AZ, Rule, My Country, What Goes Around, and then you got Every Ghetto. Now, there's the bonus tracks, but when I got my CD in the mail, it actually did not have the bonus tracks, which sucks. I didn't actually get the bonus disc. But, the CD case is in decent shape other than the crack. I'm happy about that, If you turn around here, you got the book. I'm not actually going to take the book out because I only have one hand. Well, maybe I will. Here, let's see. Yeah, I can take it out. Okay, we got that. All the songs. Unfortunately, a lot of hip-hop albums don't have the lyrics. You get the, Ill Will, Rest in Peace. He died before Illmatic came out. And they have the whole Nas collection. Illmatic, It Was Written, I Am Nostradamus, and then QB's Finest, which is like a compilation tape he did. Then you look at the back here. You got a few pictures of Nas. Alright, where the hell? I'm looking through my phone, so like it's kind of distorting what my eyes are seeing. So yeah, we got basically the Queensbridge Bridge there. We got Nas in several different poses. I actually like this fold out a lot. It's pretty cool. Like if it was a poster, I wish it came with a poster. I'd definitely hang it up. Now it actually fold this shit back together. There we go. Sorry if the camera's a little shaky, guys. Like I said, I always do it vlog. I don't have like a camera to do it vlog style. But yeah, I'm kind of pissed off it didn't come with the disc. But I think I kind of knew what I was getting because I didn't see when I actually bought the album. But this album to me is just his best album. Like the beats on this, his lyrics were almost like pretty much top notch on this record. Like if you look at Stillmatic, the intro, it's a great intro. It's this kind of bumping beat instrumental, and he's just like introducing you to the album. Ether is the diss track to Jay-Z. Basically 5 minutes of him just going off about how much Jay-Z sucked at the time, And then you got, what's the third track? Got Yourself a, basically, it's called Got Yourself a Gun. It's basically just saying, like, you better make sure you have a gun on you if you're in the hood and whatnot, and kind of hood life. And you got Smoking. It's basically a song about smoking weed and like hanging out with hanging out with his homies and stuff, and just having a good time. Very kind of ominous, atmospheric beat on that one too. You're the Man, probably my favorite track on the album. It just has like, you feel like you're flying when you listen to the track. Like you feel like you're in the air. He's just talking about how he never thought he'd be one of the best rappers in the game. One of the best lyricists and stuff like that. He talks about he wishes he could just like fly away sometime to get away from the fame and whatnot. It's kind of cool. There's a bird on the cover too. Like when I think about this song, I always think about the album cover. I always feel like that's like the main theme of that song being on the album cover. It's just a great song. It's just his lyrics are great, and the beat is just so awesome and atmospheric. Then we got Rewind. This song is a trip, man. This song is crazy. It's basically talking about a story about a hit on one of somebody's homies, and basically on Nas's whole day. One day, basically talked backwards. He tells it backwards. He actually says some of the words backwards too. Like he'll say "no hell" instead of "hell no." Or he'll say "stressed really am" instead of the chick saying "I'm really stressed." It's really cool how he just. It's Nas telling a story. I'm a sucker for storytelling hip hop, and Nas is one of the best probably the best at storytelling hip hop. One mic. Basically, this song is about saying he doesn't need anything but just one mic, and hip hop is his fuel for living and stuff like that. And we got Second Childhood. This track is about basically people who haven't grown up yet. They're kind of living in the past. They're just not growing up. They're just kind of living like this one guy. There's two stories. One about a guy who still lives with his mom, and has a crew and still does drugs and stuff and sells them. And when his homies come over, they wreck the crib and everything like that. And then another one about this chick who's like 27, I think he says 27, 26, who does gossips like she's in high school and stuff, and who isn't married, and all her friends are married and doing well, and she's not. And an interesting song, another storytelling type track. And then we got Destroy and Rebuild, which is basically a track about how Queensbridge has been taken over by, weak people and weak gangsters and stuff, and how it's not as strong as it used to be. But Nas even says, like, they say the bridge is over, but it's weak people who kill the hood and whatnot. It's basically kind of like him trying to bring strength back into Queensbridge. The Flies featuring AZ. This is actually one of the only features on the records, featuring AZ, who's on Life's a Bitch from Stillmatic, which was a great track. It's basically telling about, the gangster life, honestly. It's kind of like, it actually has like the beat and sounding of, it's very similar to Life's a Bitch, I think they did it on purpose. And they got Rule featuring Emery. She's a singer. Excuse me. Basically, that song is basically about world peace and, if he ruled the world, how peaceful life would be and everything. And certain scenarios. Pretty cool, like, atmospheric song. My Country. This is an awesome track, too. Awesome little guitar flicks here and there. And a really cool beat. Basically saying how the United States doesn't want, black people sometimes, or at least in the past. I don't know if it's talking about the past or the present. I think it's mostly about the past, about his dad and running away and whatnot because his country didn't want him. Very interesting, actually. It's I think it's talking about maybe slave times. I'm not totally sure. Because I know it's not like that nowadays. Nowadays, people fucking love African Americans, including myself. And then we got the last track is What Goes Around. And this is basically a track saying, talking about different stories about what you reap what you sow, basically. Like, he talks about deadbeat daddies walking out, but then they get shit on at the end of their life because their son doesn't come visit them or whatever, and they die alone. Another cool storytelling track. And then you do have one more track, the bonus track called Every Ghetto, which is a track basically about ghettos and whatnot. It has some guest vocals here and there from people. It doesn't actually say who's on it, but it has some random guest vocals and stuff and guest verses. But yeah, that's it. That's my review of Stillmatic. Hope you guys enjoyed this album. I definitely did. This album is my favorite Nas record to date. You guys can look forward to more Nas record reviews. Maybe I'm going to do a couple Jay-Z's here and there. I'm actually waiting for Jay-Z's Hard Knock Life, the Volume 2, to come in the mail from Puerto Rico. I actually ordered it for 30 cents, believe it or not. So it should be here another day or two, hopefully, and I can do a review of that. And I am going to get a few more Nas records to review, because I love this. This is probably my favorite hip-hop artist of all time. I love Nas. He's just amazing. Especially this album. So hope you guys enjoyed this record review, and I'll see you guys for the next installment of Derek's Discs.